dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the trial of a man responsible for killing 5 people in a Clay County crash was expected to begin today, but as a surprise to many, Jason Gibson pleaded guilty to the 4 counts of murder and 1 count of fetal homicide. WYMT's Connor James was in the courtroom when it happened. He joins us now from the newsroom with more. Connor?
Steve, before the trial even began, family told me they could feel the dread and anxiety of today set in. An offer for Jason Gibson was previously on the table, and like you said, in a surprise to many, Gibson decided to take it and pleaded guilty. Gibson killed Charlene Lewis, Judy Pennington Adams, Tiffany Williams, 23-month-old son Kyson, and her unborn child after crashing into them on the Hal Rogers Parkway. It was an emotional day in the courtroom for many, but family of those killed in the crash say this resolution can allow them to move on.
We've been in the grieving process for so long, and now it's kind of time to set into the healing process since we don't have to come to court and see him all the time.
Now sentencing for Gibson will be on May 6th at 1 p.m. He's looking at 30 years behind bars for each count. Steve?
All right, Connor, thank you very much, and we'll have more on this coming up at 6. A case of a Southern Kentucky father accused in his 1-year-old son's death is now in the hands of a grand jury. Vaughn Brock is charged with murder and arson. Police in Laurel County say Brock's 1-year-old son was found dead in a washing machine after a fire damaged their home. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to Brock's mother, who is defending her son and has her own theories about what happened.
A Kentucky State Police detective testified how 1-year-old Joseph Cash Brock was found in a washing machine in that burned trailer, and how his father, Vaughn Brock, apparently ran from the scene and then was found a couple of days later. Vaughn Brock is charged with murder and arson. Police say that he's responsible for his 1-year-old son's death, with the detective telling a judge that Brock's story of what happened on March 30th does not fit with their evidence of the fire that destroyed the home in the trailer park on Reams Lane. Vaughn Brock's mother and a family friend came to the courthouse Tuesday with her own ideas in defense of her son. Angie Brock says Vaughn loved his son and would never do anything to hurt him.
I think that Cash got up, and I think he got a hold of one of them butane lighters or a lighter, and I think the little feller accidentally set the house on fire. I believe that with all my heart and soul.
Brock's attorney told the judge there's no proof or evidence that Vaughn Brock tried to start that fire to burn down their home, but the judge says there's other evidence of probable cause and sent the case on to a grand jury. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The Laurel County grand jury will consider indictments on April 19th. We have new details in the case of an Arizona woman arrested for the murder of her twin grandsons. Court documents say that Dorothy Flood shot each boy twice last week, then tried to kill herself with prescription drugs. Detectives believe she will try to kill herself again if released. According to the complaint, Flood waived her Miranda rights twice while talking to deputies after she was revived, before giving investigators further details. Flood faces 2 charges of murder. A Pennsylvania woman is in jail after setting her boyfriend's truck on fire Saturday afternoon. A neighbor's video footage allegedly shows 19-year-old Marion Warman throwing an open gas can into the back of the truck before lighting a piece of paper on fire and throwing it into the truck, sparking the fire. Warman allegedly hit her boyfriend in the face and arm several times before threatening to light the truck on fire. The heat from the flames also melted the siding of their home.
People should think before they do things. I mean, she burned the wires off. She put, both these houses in danger, of catching them on fire, which actually could have caught my house on fire had they caught fire. She could have burned 3 houses.
Neighbors say they lost power about 4 hours because of the fire. Many are just happy it did not spread to any other homes. Police cited a Georgia woman after her 3-year-old son urinated in a gas station parking lot. Brooke Johns was driving last week when the boy, still in potty training, said he had to go right away. John said they barely made it to the parking lot. She is 8 months pregnant and could not carry him. She says they would not have made it inside in time. John said she tried to cover him the best she could.
accidents happen. And he was like, well, take them in the bathroom. What if I would have ran in the bathroom and somebody would have been in there? What was I going to do, let him pee on the floor of the gas station?
Johns will appear in court days before her due date. She chose not to move the trial.
And those beautiful blue skies and sunshine has finally returned. We were a little bit gloomy and especially foggy earlier this morning. You'll notice that here as we take a look at Interstate 64 in Moorhead. You'll notice just gloomy conditions, but clearing out pretty quickly throughout the day with those sunny skies. And that Whitesburg camera, it looks like it's not working right now, but there's beautiful blue skies over there as well. You'll notice here on satellite and radar, those clouds pretty thick earlier this morning, but cleared out quite nicely. And as we scan the skies, we are looking at a very nice clean sweep, and we will see that continue into at least the next few days or so. Those temperatures, they're warming up very quickly now that that sunshine is out. Just stepped outside a few minutes ago and it feels great out there. Those temperatures into those mid, maybe some spots getting closer to those upper 70s, showing a 77 in Hazard, 76 in London, 72 up into Moorhead. So as we head throughout the overnight hours, we're going to continue to see those clouds get out of here, which is going to make for a chilly night ahead, chillier than we have been the past few nights. But plenty of sunshine is on the way. Those scattered rain chances, of course, make a comeback. We'll break down that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, thank you, Paige. The mountains are answering the call for help again. The Perry County 4-H Youth Council is collecting donations for victims of the flooding in the Heartland after the Kentucky 4-H asked them to pitch in. These students understand the importance of this help because of what the bread basket provides.
They help us out by providing a lot of our food, and we just want to have our part and help them back when they face a crisis like this.
Agriculture is really important. It impacts our daily lives, what we eat, and that we just need to give back to them.
We have a full list of donation items and drop-off locations on WYMT.com. Attorney General William Barr faced questions from a congressional panel on the Mueller report. He says a redacted report is coming soon and defended himself against criticism that his 4-page summary of the report did not go far enough. He promised to provide notes and respond to inquiries on his redactions, but he says he would not release an unredacted version to Congress. Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he trusts Barr.
So I think it really gets down to a question whether you trust Bill Barr or not. And I do, and I think he will get us a report that is as open as possible, as soon as possible.
The president's legal team confirms to CBS News they have not seen the full Mueller report. President Trump's attempts to build a tougher stance on migrants hoping to enter the U.S. are facing criticism from both parties. As pressure from the influx of migrants continues, sources say the president has been pushing to reinstate a policy that would separate families. A senior administration official says a new policy, a so-called binary choice, is also being considered. It would offer migrant families a choice: stay together in detention or be split while the parents go through the legal process. That is a move that is unpopular across party lines.
If he's pushing an agenda to separate women from their children at the border, that's going to be a disastrous agenda. So I hope he's rethinking that.
Why on God's green earth would we separate children from their families? We are a better country than that.
A federal judge says asylum seekers can remain in the U.S. as they wait for their immigration hearings. California's Northern District Court placed a preliminary injunction on the Trump administration's policy on Monday. It goes into effect nationwide on April 12th. A New York couple disappeared while on vacation in the Dominican Republic. Orlando Moore and Portia Ravenel were expected to return home on March 27th. However, Moore's family says they've not heard from them since the 23rd. The Dominican Republic's national police say they are investigating the disappearance of a couple from New York, but have not officially named Moore and Ravenel. Relatives say they are having trouble getting information from police. A police spokesperson says investigators are gathering details to release to the public, but did not say when they will do that. Let's head over to Wall Street now. This Tuesday afternoon, the Dow closes down today more than 190 points. Bank of America is raising its minimum wage. The bank says lower paid employees will see their pay rise to $17 an hour starting May 1st. This base pay will climb incrementally before reaching $20 per hour in 2021. The company's CEO made the announcement today. Bank of America employs more than 200,000 people worldwide, and nearly 170,000 work in the U.S. It's unclear exactly how many of them will benefit from the move. Straight ahead on First at 4, one school in Alabama is providing access to a drug that reverses an opioid overdose. Hear about the first of its kind program just ahead.
And sunshine has returned, but for how long? We'll break down that full forecast in just a few short minutes.